So you sound the most like Jeff, so you read this for me.
But I just did.
Do it again.
Okay. Welcome to Everyone Racing, a podcast designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. Whatever kind of chump or track dog you run, STCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you, Drifto, Hello, Flash Guys are all right. As long as you built it yourself and drive it hard, join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news, and notes from the world of low buck racing. If you can handle it, Chrissy will give you just the tip. Everyone report back to the dock.
To the dock?
To the paddock!
Okay. Trying to tune this bad boy in.
We're in. Here we go.
We're in. Hold on. I think we might have it this time. It's 24. I think we're in.
Very nice.
Go.
Welcome to Everyone Racers, a podcast designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. Whatever kind of LeChump or track dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate. We even think you Drifto Hella Flush guys are pretty alright, as long as you built it yourself and drive it hard. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news and notes from the world of low buck racing, and if you can handle it, Chrissy will give you just the tip. Hey, everyone report to the paddock.
Yeah,
This is Dan Danvers.
This is Vicky.
And apparently this is Bill. And as everybody's picked up by now, we're definitely not Everyone Racers, but we're going to give it a go. We are the Garage Heroes in Training racing team, and we're conducting our second attempt / 24th attempt at a pirate takeover of this week's episode of Everyone Racers. As most of you may know by now, the original plan was to skip this week's episode due to the wedding of Chris and Chrissy, and we thought skipping an episode for a wedding, come on, that's like canceling a race for a hurricane. We also thought we'd have this out last weekend, but we're still working on it, so we'll see. So who we are and why we're here? We're going to basically cover more introductory topics since we're an intro team. We're Lemons newbies and racing newbies in general. As some of you may remember, we were on an earlier episode of Everyone Racers. We've got limited experience and virtually no racing skill, but we make up for it hopefully with lots of enthusiasm and effort. Right now our team has 8 drivers to this point. All of them have minimal prior racing experience. 3 are under 20, 3 are female, and 2 learned how to drive a manual transmission between our first race and our second race to enter a race at Thompson's. So the rest of the year, we plan on hitting New Hampshire for the next Lemons race in October. And we're going to end the season with Atlanta, unless I can talk Vicky into letting me go to CMP in November, but we'll talk about that later. And right now we've got 2 drivers that are underage. One just got his license a week ago, well, maybe 2 weeks ago by the time we get this done. And the other one's 11, and she just keeps ticking on that clock. So let's start off with the news.
All right. So the Lemons race at the Carolina Motorsports in South Carolina has been delayed for a few weeks until November 3rd due to the hurricane. The racetrack is currently being used as a staging area by Duke University to respond to the outages as the storm passes. Also, the New Hampshire race garage reservations are now open for the race on October 20th, the Halloween Hoopty Fest. We had planned on only having 1 car there, but we will be entering 2. Jeff and Jim from 3 Pedal Mafia will be joining us. We actually purchased the Ombre off of Jeff and Jim. And what's that? The bad Ombre, I know. So we'll be actually racing that vehicle, and we're going to bring along our Mustang. So we're going to have the Mustang and Ombre Battle Royale. So having Jeff come and join us on our team, we're going to see how that kind of works out. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a little crazy or not. He'll probably going to leave shaking his head, but, you know, we can get a lot of tips from him.
It's good for us. Bad for Jeff.
Yeah, well, you know. So what else is going on? Yeah, so
Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, the Volkswagen Beetle. After 7 decades, the Volkswagen is releasing the end-of-the-line model following along. Hopefully they won't follow along with the Ford and drop all car production. So what do you guys think about the 7 decades finally coming to an end? Any comments? Any thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't know. The Volkswagen has always been dear to my heart. The I remember, where were we in the late 80s seeing brand new ones just driving around down in Mexico. I was like, what are these things are still going? What's going on?
Oh, I know. They still produce them down there, right?
Yeah. And so I'm like, I think we went like a grocery store or something. It was like, there was a brand new one inside. I'm like, what is this? This is crazy. So, and I remember, when I was working at a body shop, hearing one of those things rolling on 3 cylinders. He's like, it's a little noisy. It doesn't have as much power. And we dropped the motor out, sure enough, a hole right in the side of the engine block. So,
yeah, they're pretty much like working on like a lawnmower, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very similar. And then Bill bought me one a long time ago when we first got married. He says, here, you're interested in having this. Why don't you go ahead and it be your project? I'm like, I can try. I don't think I ever got around to it, though.
It rotted.
So we ended up having
away in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, I think it was already kind of rotted when we had it. So
minor details.
Yes, I know. So I don't really know what else is going on out there. Again, we're still learning. So for more news, just tune in for your regularly scheduled programming next week.
Yes. So we entered our second race as a team, right? It was my first race on your team with 2 cars. We've got the Mustang. We got to work on some intercooler and turbo situations. Got to tighten that up a bit. The seating arrangements. We have a little bit of wiring we got to sort out for the cool suit and some more lights and gadgets and fun things I'm going to put in there. So that should be fun. We've got a new radiator going in, and that's what we have so far for there. Oh, and we got to work on the gas gauge. I really want to get a gas gauge going.
Why? We're so good at running out of gas.
Well, it is fun.
It's a built-in excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the Thompson race. Did you guys enjoy it? Was that Alan? That was your first race altogether. That was our second.
My first race. Yeah, it was a blast. I had a good time. It was a survival day on Friday, just with the heat. And then Saturday was fun with just driving around. Real late race laps in anger, and yeah, it was fun. It was a blast.
No, you brought your son along, 17-year-old Bennett, and I gotta tell you, he was amazing. He was an amazing radio guy. He took to that naturally.
He's
he
all
is
in
all
on this
in.
stuff.
He's ready.
He's all in.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to get Liam to kind of. Liam's one of our other racers. He's 17 years old, and trying to get teenagers involved with the racing. It's not a bad thing, but it definitely their perspective on racing is a little different than, I guess, regular racing. But
a little herding of cats.
Yes, yeah, a little bit of that too. But more on that later. So
Vicky, what have you been working on?
Oh my goodness, what have I been working on? This is the part of the episode where the 3-Pedal Mafia goes in and talks about what have you been working on this week, guys? So for me, we've been trying to theme the ombre. The ombre is the bad ombre. Sorry, has been a little tricky to theme. We did have an initial theme already lined up for it, and then the ombre showed up, and I'm looking at going, that's really smaller than I thought. No, I mean, nothing personal, Jeff, but
wow.
Sorry, but
well, there goes the E on this episode.
So yeah, we kind of had to possibly scrap the original theme that we had. So I just brainstormed with one of our other drivers, and she's a creative also. So it's easy to bounce off of her, and I think we came up with a new concept of it. So I'm
So Alan
doesn't even know about that. So it's all kind of in the hush hush, but we're pretty excited about it now. So we'll probably incorporate part of the original idea in with the new idea. So anyway, that's what I've been working on. Mostly the brainstorming, and once we get that part done, I mean, it'll just be banged out. We still like to keep with our superhero theme because that's what we're all about. And we preferably like Marvel. I'm personally preference to Marvel. So anyway, Let me see what I'm working on now. School's back in session, and that's been a little challenging, trying to get everybody in sync again, mostly trying to get everybody out of bed early. So, that's been a little bit tough. But fortunately, I've been up very, very early because we have a new puppy. And our new puppy is a 3-month-old Bernese Mountain Dog. She is a little bit of a hot mess right now, but she's adorable, so she makes up for it. She is named Zoe Lemons Fisher. Bill really wanted to name the dog Lemons, and there's a little bit of a battle over it, so we gave him the middle name. So Zoe Lemons Fisher.
Well, she's so cute.
She
She's
is squeezable, and she's fluffy, and she's adorable, and I can't keep her out of the mud puddles. So anyway, in our future, we'll be bringing her along. At this point, not yet. So anyway, that's what we're working on this end. Me being the theme person, I'm all about trying to get these things done and out the door. So how about you, Bill? What have you been working on?
Well, I've been working on trying to, since we seem to be getting into this a little more deeply than we maybe had anticipated, we've started putting together a website and an Instagram and Facebook, and starting to look at putting the logo together, and just generally trying to get everything off the ground and keep that stuff moving. Like you said, we did pick up El Jefe last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, but it was last weekend when we started taping this. And that means we're putting the 944 out the pasture some way.
Mhm.
I don't know which way yet, but we gotta get rid of that.
It's definitely taking up
And then
space.
well, if it would start, it would take up less space. So. And let's see, what else have we done? We did a team go-kart racing out at Pocono Raceway. We had a 3-person team go out there. 3 of our teammates went out there with me, and that went pretty well. We came in last, but we're
Are you
used to that.
shoving any
I also,
11-year-olds off the track?
if they're in my way, it's part of racing.
No,
Racing's
guys, he has done that before. So he takes his racing very seriously. The 11-year-old challenged
Nice.
him, and he went all in. It's sad. It's a sad thing. See.
It is a sad thing for the 11-year-old. So also went to a Bertle Roos racing class, a high performance driving class, and learned a few things. Had a few things that I thought I had under control fixed, and a few things that I didn't have under control fixed. So the nice thing is, I think I learned what I should be doing, and when it's not the right way, it feels wrong now, as opposed to just kind of going around going do 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 do. So hopefully this will show up in the next race, and we'll see if my performance improves. Although it's hard to tell if your performance improves when you've never been to the racetrack. So let's see what else. Prepping the Ombre. I think we had a beach party over the weekend. Unfortunately, I was the only one who showed up with the sand, and so the car is all sanded down now. So we really have to get rolling on it, because Hurricane Flo is raining on a car with no paint now.
At least it's clean.
So we're working on that. Yeah, it's clean. Well, that was one way I was going to clean the car, but then I just sanded all the dirt away. So that was fun. And thinking that the mechanicals on the Ombre are pretty much done. I thought I had the clutch figured out, but I need to drain some more air out of there. And then the only thing left before a race is I'm thinking about putting a quick release steering wheel on there, so that people like me with the muscular frame that I have generated over the years can more easily get in and out of the car. It is kind of fun to have a car with a tilt steering wheel. So it's kind of
I didn't really notice that when I took it around the block, and you're like, oh, here, just like a little adjustment. I'm like, I never had a car that did that. Never had one of the race cars that did that. So I was really happy that kind of dropped on it. So I was really happy. Let me.
Very nice. Very nice. So is this where we need to send out to our number one fan? Is that Chrissy's mom?
Hey,
Shout out. Awesome, you rock.
Yes. So let me see. This is the point where we shout out to congratulate everyone's racer's favorite listener, Chrissy's mom. Hi, Chrissy's mom. Yeah, how happy she must be to have Chris and Chrissy's nuptials. They had a beautiful wedding in Massachusetts at a yacht club, I believe, and the pictures were gorgeous. They looked so adorable. And Jeff, conducted the wedding, which shocked me. So, but anyway, best wishes on behalf of the wedding and to both families. So, thank you. And now let's move on to our main Thompson review. Alan?
Hello. Uh-oh. I don't see anything coming out.
We lost Alan. All right, so
Hang on.
That's what happens when you're in the parking lot of a Starbucks.
All right, you got me. You got me. All right, now I'm back in.
So let's go. Vicky, what did you learn from Thompson about the camping, hotel, campsite organization, things like that?
Well, let me see. Organization is key. I mean, I don't think, even for all the prep that we had done, I don't think that we even prepped enough. So I think that collapsible equipment is really good. Making sure you have your lists, duties are important, and decide, when you have, everybody that's coming, family, teens, assign your jobs out for sure. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts that I have come to realize that's out of my control. So I found that to be really helpful. It's just listen, and also talk to people who are already organized in the groups. We got a lot of tips for just by walking around the campsites and looking into other garages. Excuse me, and seeing what other people have done, even with their trailers. So yeah, I mean that was pretty an eye-opening experience. I think it's even more than camping, in the sense that, camping, at least when you're set up, you can kind of chill and relax. But here, it's just working. It's working on top of working, and making sure you have people in those key areas that need to function. So, and then how about you, Bill?
Well, Alan's going to go because he was doing the mechanical side. So, Alan?
Yeah. So just remind me which one we were talking about. So the
Thompson.
The Mustang? Thompson, yes. So the first round we had a water leak with the Mustang.
Not Starbucks. Thompson.
Sorry. Yeah, we had the water leak coming out for the bypass line right at the water pump there. We got that fixed up. Then we had the air leak. We blew up the line for the intercooler to the throttle body. That was kind of fun. Several times. Yeah, well, we had some issues at 5 PSI, so we thought it'd be a good idea to just dial it up to about 15.5 and then just see if we could make it. We didn't make it one lap.
I think you're being generous with the we there, but go ahead.
Well, it's the royal we. So we ended up putting some cooler line, a little stronger hosing, and it held together. Since then, we've dialed it back a bit. I've got it right about at 11, so I think that should be a good number we can run through. We're going to put some more cooling capacity in with a new radiator up front. That should help with our longevity if there's going to be any of that to be found. And we're hoping I get some feelers out looking for some parts, trying to get a fuel gauge going.
This fuel gauge thing's overrated.
Yeah, I know. And what else? That's about what's going on with that. The Capri. Oh, well, that was quite a bit of fun. So we got some laps in on that, and then we lost the linkage to the transmission, which wouldn't have been too bad, except that we kept lapping in second gear instead of third gear, which it was pretty good lap times, I guess. But then, not so good for the engine itself. So that ended up with we're assuming a broken camshaft, and I think we're going to call it terminal for the drivetrain transmission situation there. So we're looking for a new heart,
and we can cover that soon.
And we'll get some more of that going.
All right, so for those of you out there who are used to traditional racing and care about results, we really don't care at this point. We're just trying to get out there, have some fun, and turn some laps, and learn. But the Capri, like we said, ended the race Saturday, just outside the top 100 by the end of the race. I think it was like 102 or so. Um, we did end up figuring out that we had fixed some of our problems with the help of Bruce from Three Pedal Mafia. That was tremendous. Unfortunately, it took us till 2:30 in the morning. And then we found out that the camshaft was broken, so all the work that we had done was basically for naught. The Mustang fell on its face all of Friday, and a good chunk of Saturday, so it only put on a few laps Saturday, but then came back strong on Sunday and finished right behind the Capri. I think it was like 104, and there were 120 cars entered at Thompson, so we didn't get our goal of being kind of in the middle. Hopefully we'll be able to get back to that. We were pretty close to middle at New Jersey, but we'll see what it does. And I think the biggest thing we can take away from everything was coming to the racetrack with the Mustang not running perfectly was a bad plan from the beginning. We had thought that we get it close and then do some touch up on the track. And between Alan and Liam and Cassian and myself and anyone else who could lend a hand, we might be able to figure it out. Which is true, except we didn't have any parts, and our tractor supply items in the turbo line weren't quite up to standard, and that kind of led to a problem. So we ended up replacing our tractor supply tubing for the camper with automotive tubing by Sunday, and then amazingly enough, if you turn the turbo boost down and don't use plumbing supplies from campers, the car runs a lot better. And these are the things you learn when you're a rookie Lemons team. So, so we ended up coming in just outside the top 100 for both, or otherwise known as the bottom 20. So that's kind of where we ended up for the race. And I think there was one other item that happened on the weekend that was notable towards the end. Alan, did you want to get into that? Or did we lose him? I think we may have lost Alan. Oh, okay. If you want to
I'm still here.
No,
I'm here.
Go over the end ceremony for everybody.
So the I Got Screwed award, that was quite exciting. At least we got some hardware to come home with. The rented RV turned it into quite an interesting prospect. There were 2 rented, 1 worked, 1 didn't. But at least the rolling shed. It did set up a nice perimeter, though. We got a good idea of how we laid it out, so that worked out pretty well. We can get creative with some of our future formations, if you will.
That should be fun. I think Vicky wants to take a break from camping at the track and just kind of relax at the next race.
Very
so
nice.
I think RVs are not in our future. For
No,
the next
that
race,
was
at least.
that was really tough on us. So I think that actually renting an RV to bring an RV and then have an RV, it was more work than just like owning one and having it already pre-packed of all your stuff. So that didn't quite work out for us.
Yeah, it was kind of double.
And of course, the one breaking, it ended up being pretty much just like a shed where we just stored all the equipment, so we couldn't even use the other one. So, but that was fine. But yeah, I think we'll skip that part.
So Alan, how did we manage to become the award-winning racing team that we are? No, we lost Alan. All right, I guess the Starbucks internet has gone back, so I'll take over. So what happened was we won the I Got Screwed award. Part of the problem is people heard about our rented RVs not working. Oh,
the I Got Screwed award. Well, okay, so here's how it happens from my perspective. I'm racing in the car Saturday morning. I got some laps in the Capri. I got to see red out there. I got the red mist out in the on the track. Oh no, I think I just dropped out. I got my laps in. I was happy. There was an issue with the Mustang. We had to get some parts, so I went back and yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. So we had an issue with the Mustang, so I got my laps in the morning and the Capri. We had some parts we needed to get for the Mustang, so I was going to head out. I was, I didn't want to be greedy and get extra lap time in. I figured let everybody get their run in. I got my time in. I was psyched, and I was out to get the air tube for the turbo. And it turns out that someone else went out to get food while the race was still going on with all the helmets and the race safety equipment in the vehicle they were driving in. So we didn't actually have all of our drivers suited, ready to race when there was track open. So,
well, we kind of had a miscommunication. Vicky had put the stuff away in the car we were taking, and I didn't know that. But I also didn't know that the race went till 6 or 6:30, and we left to get food at around 4. So we had a full racing team and no equipment for them to race in. But whoops, at least the error got us the I got screwed award. So now we're a award-winning race team for lemons with minor internet celebrity. All right, very, very, very.
I wouldn't call the I got screwed award celebrity, guys.
I am.
But hey,
there's a glass half full, there's a glass half empty, and then there's me. Hey, I got a glass. So we're going. We're going with it. That's right.
Wait. Hey, we came with hardware. We came home with hardware. That counts.
Yeah, Liam is proudly displaying it in his room.
See. Hey, I got a black flag. I got
you got a black
name
flag
on the roster somehow. I got black flagged. Yeah, we were at the end of the straight there. I was coming a little hot, a little too much rear brake going on there, and just looped it just enough to get one of those back wheels off there. I was able to correct and spin back to the right without fully, rotating 360, and we kept going. No harm, no foul. But 2 turns later, I saw that urgent black flag pointing at me. So we just came in. I just came in. They gave me a hard time about how my seatbelts were tightened or something else, and then after a thorough tongue lashing, I was sent down my way without any penalties.
Bribery work. I tell you, there was so much rain at Thompson, and it was it was bad, and I just being on the racetrack and just having everybody spin out in front of me was surreal. It was surreal when somebody's in front of you and all of a sudden they just lose the back end and off they go into the grass. I'm like, that was crazy. And, I just felt like, what was that Grand Tour? What is it, the Grand Tour? When they just say, oh, I'm just going to leave him. Drive away.
Just let it go. I think I need... No, I think I need to give a shout out and a high five to Cassian for doing some serious laps in the rain in that car and brought it back looking pretty much just like he took it out.
Oh my gosh. And not only that, he did it mostly in third gear. Second or third. Didn't we lose? What gear was he stuck in?
No, the Mustang. He was stuck in second gear.
In the second gear. That was the fastest second gear ever.
Well,
Yeah, figure if we're going to go in, we're going to go all in.
That's right.
I think the best part was Chrissy saying how good Cassian was out there driving, and then him coming in one lap later after wrecking. That was fun.
That was perfect timing.
Awesome. So, this podcast is being brought to you by Everyone Racer sponsors the Extreme Experience. And if you go there, you get to drive really cool cars, Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, who knows what they have, all kinds of cool stuff. They even have cool teachers like Mental, Chris, Jeff, and many, many others. And using the Everyone Racers discount, you get a 25 or 30% off or something like that. We never looked it up. We don't know. But anyway, if you listen next week or last week, you'll get more accurate details and a much better description of what the discount is and the entire racing thing. And that's why they're professional podcasters and we are rank amateurs.
Exactly. But we do know something. The high performance driver education, that's definitely something that's a good idea for anyone. To Vicky's point, she said she watched somebody spin out in front of her while driving in the rain, just to have the sense of, all right, what am I going to do here? How am I going to get out of this alive? This is it's a good thing to try, right? I mean, it's getting to thrash around somebody else's expensive car on a track. That certainly sounds like a good idea to me.
How come you say that louder every time Kate's in the background so she can hear you?
Absolutely.
All
right.
So we've come to everyone's favorite.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
I think now is the time. I think there's a time right now. I think we need to. Is it almost time, Vicky, for you to give him just the tip?
That's the tip. All right. Just like Alan said about the whole spin out. There is walking the track for the safety tip is, first of all, making sure you have everybody out there on Friday night to drive
Friday practice.
When you're out there on Friday practice, I mean, it's so important because, for instance, Friday nights are so very busy, and you're either setting up camp, you're rolling out the car, you're trying to organize the garage area. And depending on what time you come in to start all that, there is a likelihood that you will not be able to drive that track. Your safety tip of the week has to be drive that track, because knowing where those turns are, knowing the conditions are, where every issue that you might have, to understand what that track is going to be, makes it a whole lot easier than going out the second day. I was not able to get out twice on the initial drives, and I regretted it. And after that, have a chance to walk the track with knowledgeable people,
like us.
especially for you newbies that are out there. So right. So where every bump is on the track, where the oil marks are, where the curves are. If there's anything that is on the track that, say, for instance, like tread and sticky areas. One particular track that we had gone on to, they actually had a different race before us, so they sprayed the track to make it a little easier to adhere the tires to the track coming around the corners. So knowing that when you're walking the track is so very helpful to get out there and understand what you're driving on. So that's my safety tip for the week.
Yep, it's hard. It's much easier to learn when you have 15 or 20 cars out there driving in practice than it is to be out there with 100 plus cars driving in race trim and aggression. So,
and the sound, the smell, can you reach all the levers and switches? Can you reach fifth gear if you need it from where you have the seat positioned? Can you see all the mirrors? Is your helmet hit? There's just a lot of things you need to shake out.
Mm-hmm. And whatever's going on with the car, that's the great time to bring it in and know what you're doing. Some people just roll up, hop in the car, and take off. But it really starts to iron things out for you. Yeah, so that's my tip for the week.
So usually the episode, if they don't have a guest, the Everyone Racer team tries to end with a hella sweet or a but terrible idea. So we've got one. We're trying to figure out what we should do with the Capri. Got a couple options. We can fix it. We can do a transmission and engine swap, or we could sell it. And if we swap it, the question is, what should we swap it to? There's lots of different factors that go into this. We've all got different thoughts and ideas, and I thought maybe it would be a good idea to argue it out in front of everybody. So, we do dumb ideas all the time. So I guess the big items would be cost and availability. How difficult is it for us to do the work? Is it going to affect the weight, balance, handling? Is there going to be a horsepower thing? And then anything else that we can think of. So, Vicky, do you want to start us off with what you think we should do with the Capri?
Well, the Capri's been around for a while in Lemons. I know it's our very first vehicle that we drove and we designed. It's a fun car to drive. It's an easy car to drive and is great for beginners. It's a Class C car.
Sometimes they put us in B last time, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty funny. But the issue is that it will always have a transmission issue. It doesn't matter. The car being a 74 is older, so its downfall is parts. Parts are very difficult, and even with those parts that we can pretty much scrounge, they're still going to have the same issues, the same problems. It's just not designed for what we're using it for. So, So
you want to get rid of it?
Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I would say to fix it, but fix it with something else completely. That's what I would do.
Alan, what do you think?
That sounds like a fabulous idea. I think a heart transplant's definitely what we're looking for. We've discussed some 2001 GM V6 with a 5-speed out of a Camaro, something like that. That sounds like a great idea to me. Let's get some port injection, something like that. Whatever we got. I think it just fits right in the whole theme of it. Just stuff a Chevy right down that Ford and see what we can do with it.
I think there's a lot of nostalgia with that car too for some of the people that are on the track. I know a couple of people have come up and just said, "Oh, I remember driving a 70. I remember a 74." We had some people ask if they could drive the car, and of course, it's Stig's favorite car too. So,
Of course.
Yes, Stig's favorite slow car to drive fast. Yes.
Yes, that's right. So, I like the idea of fixing it and then putting it back out.
Yeah, I totally agree.
What about you, Bill?
I think keeping it going is the right thing. What do you got there?
Well, I was just making sure. So we're thinking new engine, try to stay with kind of the same weight, but stay with a stick, right?
Definitely standard.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So the ones that we could use that we've been told would be good ideas. There was the 3.8 liter from the Camaro, the 2003-ish generation. Not my favorite looking car, but it's got a good engine.
That's all right. We can sell off the sheet metal. I've been looking.
Well, yeah.
Is this something we can do though, Alan? Or are we trying to bite off more than we can chew or hope to chew? Did I lose him? Oh, just when I ask him a question, he's gone. Anyway, so we've got the 3.8. We could put the 4-cylinder Mustang in that we have in the Mustang, so we could keep them both the same. Somebody said a 353 Cleveland, something like that. That was one that was suggested, or the 5.0 Mustang. I think we're looking like the 3.0 Camaro due to weight, availability, cost, and being able to put it in there. So we just lost Alan again. This Starbucks thing is not working out
Were
for
they
him so
easy to
well.
come by?
Yeah, there's lots of people who drive them in the walls, and if you remember the who was it? Was it Speedy Cop that made the upside down Camaro, and then it was
Oh,
chosen?
yeah.
It was chosen to be a Camaro because that's how most Camaros end up,
Oh, God.
upside down. So there seems to be a lot of those around, and so it looks like we're going to go with this, and that's going to be our plan. If you guys think of anything, if the Everyone Racers guys have some more opinions that are they willing to share, or if any of their listeners want to let them know what they think we should do, that'll be our next project. We're going to start on that as soon as we can, and we're targeting the New Jersey race next year. So we've got a few months, and unfortunately they're cold, but that's what driveways are for, and we'll figure out the rest of it. So with that, is there anything else you had, Vicky?
No, I think I'm good. How about you, Alan?
Well, Alan's not on, so we know he's
No,
good.
he's gone. He's still not here.
No, I guess he's getting a frappa latte, icy
Mocha
mocha
choca
mint.
something.
I don't know. I don't drink coffee. Mocha choca. Yep. So we'd like to thank Everyone Racers and thank everyone for listening. If you've listened this far, you should get combat pay. Hopefully you enjoyed our pirate radio episode. And if Everyone Racers put this out there, we seriously question their judgment. And if you're interested in more details of any of our insanity or learning, you can follow us along at Instagram or on our website. We go as Garage Heroes in Training for everything. And tune in next week for a much better podcast, because we will. And as they would say, keep the shiny side up. And so if you could come with us and enjoy the ride. Thanks, everybody. 24 times, I think we got a chance at this working.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. I think we need one more take.
25 is around number. I'm recording. So, for the 50 billionth time,
Which is?
I said for the 50 billionth time, we are trying to take over this time. And we're seeing if we can get this done at some point. So, can you hear?
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Or you can't hear the music?
I can hear the music. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, how is everybody this evening?
Okay. I gotta tune you in.
Yeah, that's not working. Okay,
What do you
you
think of
sound
this?
good now.
I can tuning it in. And then I can have it go off a little bit.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm playing. That's the one you wanted. You gotta make up your mind.
Oh, is it? Okay. I like the
like this
beginning part of it. No, I don't.
No. It's a little loud.
It is loud.
What was that?
What?
Trying to tune this bad boy in for the 23rd time. Killing me. Killing me. Okay. Don't forget you need your Google Doc. Hello?
Hmm?
I said don't forget you need your Google Doc.
Yes, I know.
Alan's booting up now. Alright, I'm going to stop this one so we can get back. Alright. Alan says he's booting.
Booting.
Did you see my proposed outline of our podcast as opposed to...
No, I haven't been on the email today.
What if we do this? And then we come in with a little bit of... and then go into that. I think it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
I think that's awesome.
It's actually not too bad. You need to close your door. I can hear you.
Well, are we there yet? Alan's not even on. He's having computer issues. All right, so try number 26 at our first episode is underway. Let's rock on.
Welcome to our new podcast. We are the Garage Heroes and Training Racing Team, and we would like to welcome you to our extended team. Our goal is to help reduce the inertia towards everyone getting out of the race car. It could be with us at an amateur endurance racetrack or at a local track day event or at a local autocross. It really doesn't matter. We hope to show you that if you have ever had any interest in driving your car close to the limit, there really is no reason you can't come out and give it a go. We hope to be able to help you see that anyone can do this,
anyone
even
can
us.
do it. even
Even
us.
So come out with us and enjoy the ride. I'm your host for this episode, Alan.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Bill. And our topics for today, we're going to try to cover what we've been up to. And then we have a listener question, which is pretty impressive since we have 0 listeners, but we did get one on our social media. And pretty much the main topics of the day is going to be our background and history as a team. So as we move forward, we'd like everyone to learn a bit about racing cars, how to work on them, and how to get better. And what we hope to do is combine what we've done and learned with our guest interviews, if we ever get somebody dumb enough to be a guest for us, to demonstrate that this isn't something you could never do, but literally anyone can do this if they're interested. Who knows? We may even have listeners who aren't interested in this, but find us amusing. Okay, that's less than witty, by the way.
Sorry.
Nice witty retort.
I know. So anyway,
So Vicky, what have you been working on recently?
what have I been working on? So what I've been working on is working on theming the car. We have a new car that's here, and it's been a little bit complicated. So right now the truck is that's what I'm working on, is trying to come up with a theme for the truck. And I think we kind of nailed it down. So so that's what I've been working on. How about you, Bill?
What about your goals for next week, Vic?
My goals for next week.
You're the one who said you wanted to have them.
My goals for next week.
It is important to have goals.
It is important to have goals. Okay, my goals for next week is to try to get the drawing done. Right now we have a puppy, and with the puppy comes I can work on the car for 10 minutes, and then I have to go find the dog. So